All right, so for 17, it says the linear function f of x equals x is graphed on a coordinate plane. The graph of a new line is formed by changing the slope of the original line to 6 over 5 and the y-intercept to 8. Which statement about the relationship between the two graphs is true? Well, we know that this f of x is our parent function, so that when we change our slope to 6 over 5, this becomes y equals 6 over 5x plus 8. Okay? So, it says the graph of a new line is steeper. So, we're trying to figure out what's happening in comparison. Feel free to graph this in your calculator to look and see what happens. And then, so basically, when I say that, I mean, let me be clear because I am going fast. For y1, you make x. And for y2, you make 6 over 5x plus 8. If you stare at that, put it in the calculator, each one, you're going to see the changes that happens. For one, you're going to be able to say, hey, is the new line steeper than the graph of the original? And is the y-intercept, has it been translated down? Well, first off, we know this plus 8 is on the outside. It has not gone down. Not it. Right? We can answer this. It says the graph of the new line is less steep and the y-intercept has been translated up. You may be tempted to say, I think that might be it. Is it less steep? It is a fraction here, right? Is it less steep? Right? Or is this correct? The graph of a new line is steeper than the graph of the original and the y-intercept has been translated up. You might think, well, it's a fraction, so no, that can't be it. But I'm putting a question mark. All right. The next one is talking about being translated down. I don't know if you read that part. We know that's not it. Right? So we're down to B and C. And I am toiling with it because even though it's a fraction, 6 over 5, 6 is bigger than 5. And if I were to put this in the calculator, 6 over 5, I would get 1.2, which is greater than 1. So that's telling me that the graph is actually steeper. So my answer is C. 18, it says the graphs of linear functions f and g are shown on the grid. Which best describes the relationship between graph f and g? Notice this is our graph of f, and it's going through the origin. It is our parent function. Now, when we look at this one and we look at g, what has happened? All right. Is g of x, f of x just up 2 or plus 2? Is it f of x minus 2, meaning it went down 2? Is it 2 times f of x, meaning it's steeper by 2? Or is it less steep by half? I hope you already know it's if. All right. Let's come on to 19. It says, for the function f and g, which statement is true? If f of x is x and g of x is f of 4x, right? The whole f of 4x is still going to be g of x equals 4x, right? And we know whenever our slope is greater than 1, it's more steep. So, But this is different because it says the graph of f is steeper than the graph of g. I think it's trying to trick us here. F is not steeper. G is steeper than f. But f is not steeper. F is actually less steep because it's the parent function. So this answer here is actually C. For 20, we got a graph. It says which equation best represents the graph above. We choose 2 points. How about this x-intercept and y-intercept? So 5, 0 and 0, 4, right? If we're writing an equation, we got to find our slope first, right? Which is y over x. So we have 0, 4 and 5, 0. Change in x, change in y. Our change in y is down 4, while our change in x is up 5. So our slope is negative 4 over 5. So that means we can go ahead and eliminate A and D because the slope is positive for those. All right. And then what I said before in class is that we can always solve for y here. So that y is equal to the negative 4 over 5 times x plus 5 and then plus 8. If we plug that in the calculator, see if it looks like this. Or for C, we could subtract 8, right? And then this becomes y is equal to negative 4 over 5 times x minus 5 minus 8. Plug that in the calculator and see if it's the same, right? That's one way of doing it. Or we can come up here and see what's going on, right? This point here is negative 5, positive 8. Is negative 5, positive 8 on the line? It is. B's our answer. All right. What about 21? It says, which equation best represents the table of values? Hey guys, look at this table, right? Find 2 points. Find the slope. And then use the point slope form. Simplify it to slope intercept form. And you got your answer, right? Again, first step, find the slope. Actually, the first step is choose 2 points. I'm sorry, guys. Then find the slope. We already know how to do that. We're going to just do it. Now, when we go from negative 29 to negative 14, we've gone up by 15 points. And we go from negative 4 to negative 1, we've gone up by 3. So the slope is 15 over 3, which is 5. Look at your answer choices. What's the answer? You got it. What about with 22? It says, write an equation of a line in point slope form when the slope is negative 2 and the point on the line is 3, negative 6. It wants it in point slope form. Great, because that makes it easy. Because point slope means you need a point and a slope. And we got that. So this is our x1, y1. And remember, point slope, you're going to always be given that formula, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So all we got to do is plug. So this is y minus negative 6 equals negative 2 times x minus 3. Double negative just means plus positive. Which equation is y plus 6 equals negative 2 times x minus 3? It's D. That's it for the review, guys. Let me know if you have questions. Hit me up on Schoology. Hit me up on Remind. And just study this again, all right? And you'll be fine. Have a great one.